Hi, LiberAnarchy here. Pardon the camera work, but I'm going to be making a YouTube video in response to another YouTube video, point by point, but don't worry, the video is only, well, it's less than 2 minutes long, so hopefully my video will be less than 5 minutes or so. And this is regarding the story of a news story that came out regarding a girl who was asked to change her shirt because it said the word hell on it, and it was said in a religious context, but you'll see the story. So, sorry about this, but yeah. Okay. Let's go again.
Because her t-shirt had what some might consider an offensive slang word on it. Fox News' Kurt Lavelle is here with the disagreement between the student's parents and the school over the use of one word. Kurt?
Michelle Ramirez went to school with a shirt that read as follows: "Jesus, he scares the hell out of you," written on it. The school's...
Well, right here I have to say, a lot of people would take exception. Probably this family would take exception to an Islamic t-shirt or a t-shirt that compares Jesus to the Easter Bunny, or a shirt with Buddha on it or something. I'm not saying they would, I don't know, but I gotta say, something tells me they would take exception to that. Why is this girl being... Why is the mom letting her child out in a shirt with a cuss word on it? Just saying. Of course, because it's, it's preaching, so that makes it okay, but in the eyes of the mom. But let's move on.
Dress code policy says this is a slang use of the word and wants to ban it.
The North Kirkwood Middle...
Okay, I'm okay with that. That is to say, I'm not a big fan of dress codes, but if you're going to have rules, if you are going to have dress codes, they're going to apply to everyone equally. Just as somebody couldn't necessarily wear a heavy metal t-shirt with somebody's eyeballs being gouged out, or wear a shirt that says, shut up or fuck you, or, some other, potentially offensive content. Why is this a controversy that this girl can't wear a t-shirt with the word hell on it? I mean, clearly the shirt is meant to upset people.
School principal asked Michelle Ramirez to change into a different t-shirt after a word was considered slang in violation of the dress code.
And that's fine. I knew a lot of people who were either sent home or told to change shirts in high school just because maybe the clothing was considered too skimpy, or maybe it had a message on it that would be considered offensive. Like, I remember a lot of kids were wearing a t-shirt back in grade school that had Bart Simpson on it, and it said underachiever and proud of it. And they were asked to change their shirts, so I don't see why this would be any different. I don't see how any of this would be considered at all unjust. And she wasn't punished, she was asked to change her shirt.
Outside the school environment might be fine, but anything that within the school is inappropriate, vulgar use of language, might create a disruption within the school. We'll ask
Yeah, okay.
the student to modify the garment.
When the school called Michelle's parents, her mom disagreed with the school's action.
Right, so here's where double standards come in.
I got on the phone with Michelle and told Michelle, if you feel convicted to wear this shirt, you go ahead and put it back on.
Okay, so basically that's a euphemism for you're either going to get it at school or you're going to get it at home. Now, granted, she didn't actually say anything like that. It was not a threat. It wasn't a threat of violence or punishment. But that doesn't mean that the mom can't or won't be passive-aggressive about her not putting the preachy t-shirt back on. and you recognize the language. If you feel convicted right away, she's trying to bring this big, authoritarian dictator God in the mix. She's not saying if you feel that the message is important enough to defy the rules, you can defy the rules, and I'm not going to punish you when you come home because you feel so strongly about what you believe. That's not what the mother said. The mother actually said, rather she implied that, if there's this God dictator, and there's also me, and then there's the school. So she's saying it in such a way that she's trying to sound very pro freedom of speech. It's not even a free speech issue, unless of course you want to allow every t-shirt. If you want to allow a t-shirt that says nigger on it. And again, it's not something I think a school should allow, nor something that says, fuck you or something like that. But, I mean, if I ran a school, if I ran a school, the kids it'd be more like a Montessori school, and they could pretty much wear whatever they wanted, but, so the fun would be taken out of rebellion. But, anyway. So, yeah, just notice the way that the mom said that. There was an implication there. You're either going to get it at school, or you're going to come home and get it. Or possibly get it in the afterlife. My cat's meowing.
Michelle did change back and was separated from her classes to do her work elsewhere.
Okay, fine with me. Separated from her classes to do her work elsewhere. That's extremely generous. If I thought that I could be separated from my classes to do my work elsewhere, I would have wore a t-shirt that said, "Praise Jeebus, go to hell, fuck, I hate gay people, and I hate faggots and niggers and queers and avocados and Mexicans and..." Man, I didn't like my peers, My work would have been finished a lot faster, and I would say, "Can I go study something else? You're giving me really, really boring work, Can I go study some history or something? I mean, this is boring." So, yeah.
I don't think it's a slang word because, well, actually, it's all capitalized, and even though it's just...
Okay, because the word is all capitalized, she doesn't think that it is slang? I'm confused. What kind of school is this chick going to? Does she know what the definition of slang is? If I say ain't, which is slang, but if I capitalize it in work, it becomes proper use of the English language? What the fuck?
The hell is a different color.
So, it's a different color. Is a yellow hell more or less acceptable than a red hell or a green hell? Hey, that's a Misfit song.
That still means the same reason that he does scare the hell out of you.
School officials insist they don't necessarily disagree with the message on the shirt, just the questionable meaning of the language on it. Christina still stands by Michelle, believing the message...
Okay, this is worrisome. The school did not do anything very punitive at all. And the school has the school's official statement was that they did not necessarily disagree with the shirt. Even if they're a Christian school, instead of saying something like, "Well, we welcome students of all religions, and we accept expression of those religions so long as they, don't break school rules," or something like that. They said, "We don't necessarily agree with the message, even if they were a Christian school. I find this very worrisome that the school is trying to unruffle feathers by saying that they don't disagree with the threat of eternal torture for not believing in the right superstition. That this is really insane. I mean, and okay, pull it back a little.
Believing the message supersedes the entendre.
This, I'm so proud that she stood up for what she believed in.
She didn't stand up for what she believed in. She stood up for what you taught her to believe in. Bullshit. This isn't an issue of free speech. This isn't an issue of courage. This is an issue of some poor fool who's been indoctrinated by some mom who's a poor fool who's probably indoctrinated. And you're trying to twist it into some grand crusade for freedom of speech or something. Look, you can either wear swear words on your shirt or you can't. I don't need to hold the camera up anymore. That's getting annoying. So yeah, look, you can either wear swear words on your shirt or you can't. And if you can't, fine, I get it. And if you can, then let everyone do it regardless of context. And frankly, I hope that the daughter in a couple years says, well, that was kind of silly wearing this t-shirt to school and trying to make a federal case out of being asked to change her shirt, and then when she wouldn't, being isolated from her class. Really? Granted, this wasn't even newsworthy. It just, the part of this that bugs me is the double standards. I can break a school rule and I'm fighting for what I believe in, whereas somebody else wearing an offensive shirt is wearing an offensive shirt. Just be more consistent, please. And I really don't have a problem with the kid because, like I said, I think the kid's probably been indoctrinated, and what she's doing is fighting for her mom's belief or her mom's beliefs, and I think it's the mom that's twisting this around and being passive aggressive. Was that video even worth a rant? Well, link in the crotch bar, even though you already saw it. But if you want to see it without my stupid commentary, there you go. So I will bid you all a fond farewell, and know thyself.